and welcome to GF Uncensored. And tonight, this is the first show for myself, and I've got an amazing guest tonight, and I'd like to introduce that lady as the lovely Natalie Jones from over there in the pond.
Well, good evening, good afternoon, and good morning, everybody.
Good evening, young lady. How's yourself?
I am wonderful. I'm so excited to be on here today and chat with you. It's going to be a great time.
Yeah, I don't know where to start with your intro. I think, oh God, I mean, CEO of Paraflix and UFO Hunters of America. And what else have you got there? You've got CEO of Director of Texas State of the US Hunters of America as well. Your own creator of Texas Paracon, which we'll move on to later. Possession Files, and the owner of Strange Ghost Media. Also, oh God, author as well. How do you get time to read? How do you get time to write books as well? Legal ghost investigator and Reiki master, which is just totally mind blowing as well. Ghost Hunter's Girl, which you can't beat that as well. So, oh, what an introduction! Wow.
Yes, I mean, that's incredible. It all sounds, I'm like sitting here saying, was that me? But it is. I'm really, really humbled and blessed to be able to have all of this amazing work going on. And, you know, I'm very, very focused on helping others. And I believe that we all have, you know, a very important part to play in this life and in the universe. And, you know, without any one of us, the universe wouldn't be complete. And I'm just about living my my highest path and helping others to do the same. And yeah, and here I am with you.
Excellent, and thank you for joining us. I'll try and put some of the viewers' questions up as we're going along as well. Got a lot of good followers coming in as well, so hopefully your good friends will be joining us as well this afternoon from America there as well. I don't really know where to start because I just think the list is just amazing. So we'll have to start at the beginning. For yourself, Natalie, what do you think was the biggest influence on your life, both for yourself and getting on the paranormal journey? Because I think your journey is just escalated so amazing on your path.
Yeah. Well, you know, I have come to the table and I have come to the understanding that we all have an experience when we are a child. And it is that experience that, though we do not have a conscious awareness at the time, but is a direct indication not only of who we are, but what we're meant to do in our life. And it's not necessarily that experience caused that to happen, but rather the other way around. It happened because of who you are. And so I believe that we all have a really prominent memory, probably about, 5, 6, 7, that you can look back and have that aha moment and say, wow, this is real. And, who we are, who we were, who we will be, it's all the same, what is, what was, and what will be. So I like to look at it from a very, universal, cosmic perspective and have that understanding. And through my own spiritual awakening and all of that, I had a specific experience myself when I was that age that I do write about in my book, Awaken the Higher Self, Bringing Darkness to Light. And so, yeah, it's been a journey my entire life. I have always been really, really spiritual, and I am into, metaphysics. And I would say even more over the last 10 years is really when I started getting interested in paranormal research and all of that. And throughout my awakening over the last few years, 3 to 5 years, is when things really have taken a completely different direction for myself. I think we go through, because we are in a physical 3D form, and the brain develops and your mind develops, and all of your bodies, your spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical, they're all interconnected. And so when you're going through your teens and your 20s, you're just really mostly trying to figure it out. Some people have really been involved in the paranormal their entire life. For me, this is only something over the last 10 years that has really turned and grown into something. And then I finally pulled the trigger and founded Ghost Hunter Girls a few years back. And it's really, since then, just I hit the ground running with it. Like everything that I do, I'm very ambitious. Well, I'm a Capricorn. so my sign is the mountain goat. And mountain goats, they scale the toughest, steepest terrain against all odds. So that's definitely myself. And I'm really looking forward to spreading this knowledge as wisdom, for the greater good and the collective. But yes, so that's really how everything's come into play for myself. And it's been really neat to be able to hear people who have read my book and how much it's really truly helping them. And when I wrote the book, I said, if this only changes one person's life, then it was worth writing the book. And it was something where I knew at some point that I would have to put all of the knowledge that I had in a book, because I would take on all of these residential cases, and there's so many people that need help, and I'm only one person. And so that's why I wrote the book, and it's written in self-therapy format. And I've been just really blessed to be able to be a part of so many people's journey now, and in this, healing from within and all of that. So.
Wow, that's a fantastic answer for the first question. That's just amazing. Can you give everybody out there a picture where everyone can get hold of your book as well? So we'll just throw all that in as well, and we'll get yourself out there even more.
Yeah, thank you. So if you want to learn more about me, you can go to nataliejones.com, and Anne is with an E because I am actually an English girl. My family comes from Liverpool a few generations back. So
35 minutes away from me.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'll be coming to visit soon then.
Excellent.
And for the book, you can go to awakenthehigherself.com. It is published by BMK Publishing. You can also find it on the publisher's website at bmkpublishingusa.com. And if you'd like it shipped overnight, or I don't know if they deliver it same day, but the Amazon, it's on Amazon as well. So you can find it on Amazon. Awaken the Higher Self, Bringing Darkness to Light. And I'm in the works of having a second book released right now.
That's amazing, and we'll certainly look that up, and Karen will put the link on for us later on as we move away. As you was talking and explaining things, again, I'm a Reiki master practitioner myself. I'm finding, as I'm moving forward over the last 10 years, myself really clicked over 10 years when I met my Reiki masters. I think, or do you think the scientific side of things now and the paranormal are even getting stronger and interlinking? And I just think it's more mind-blowing of how I feel the science and the paranormal is tying in more these days. What's your view on that?
Well, everything really is interconnected. And I think that for a lot of people, they think, well, if I cannot see it, then that means it's not real. When you get to the point, I believe at about age 35 is when you're about 95% programmed. And a big part of awakening, and another reason why I wrote Awaken the Higher Self, Bringing Darkness to Light, is to start to teach people about, this programming and undoing all of that, and, having a more positive reality profile, because what we think and what we feel over time, that is our reality profile, and our perception of reality is instilled in that reality profile. So when your perception of reality starts to shift, and everything is energy, and you start to have a higher perspective, then you're not getting easily offended anymore. You're more compassionate. You have a desire to spread as much unconditional love and kindness that you possibly can in order to help others, truly help others. And again, you know, we're all still in human form. So we all make mistakes. Life is it's a journey. It's not a destination. It's about growth and, you know, overcoming and learning. And that's the beautiful part of it. You know, if we did not make mistakes, then what would be the purpose of being here? You know, we're here to truly grow our inner self and liken the thoughts of our mind to the thoughts of the spiritual mind, which resides in the heart center. And, you know, I believe that all of this energy is truly interconnected. And now when you talk about bringing the paranormal into it, what people, you know, they if I can't see it, must not be real. But even, you know, science now is really starting to, you know, tap into that with quantum physics and the random number generator and trying to explain the unexplained. And I think that's what is really neat about starting to bring everything together and find that balance in everything with esoterics, with metaphysics, with science, with consciousness. And everything is 100% connected in, you know, in that consciousness field. Yeah. So I agree with you. Yeah.
Especially with yourself and a Bachelor of Science as well. This must be just an amazing field to be in as well for yourself.
Yeah, I did. I got a Bachelor's of Science degree in accounting from the University of Phoenix. Right now I'm in the doctoral program at the University of Sedona, metaphysical science degree. And so it's great that it's self-paced. I'm just going to say that right now because I've got so much going on. I've always had a desire to just continue to accumulate knowledge so that, because everything does, hey Mike, I love working with you too, Mike. You're truly incredible. But yeah, you know, because everything really is so combined and tied together more than we can truly, I think, comprehend. But I have that desire just to continue to learn and bring all of that together to continue to make sense of things, you know? So, and recently it's been really, really interesting for me. I don't know what's happened. I've shifted even more lately, and I've been having, you know, where before I would have a lot of downloads or impressions come through in hypnagogic consciousness, you know, that theta, when your brain is in theta and right in between, right before you fall asleep. And it was always something that was to help myself or for the highest good of others. And but with that said, you know, recently even more, I believe that the more and more we start to accumulate knowledge and implement it, because for all we know nothing if we cannot demonstrate a better life, right? That's what this is all about. So, but I've had my third eye open up even more, and I've been having these really cool experiences and seeing things that no one would possibly know. And so one was a little girl that came through and communicated with me right before our Berkeley Plantation event last weekend. And I went into the investigation event not knowing anything about the location. I did that, you know, purposely.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to be
Berkeley Plantation, was it?
Yeah. Yeah. And I did. I had a message come through, but it was a visual I saw for about 10 seconds. She showed me a wood floor, the color of the wood floor I saw. She showed me stairs going down into like a basement area, a large area. And I saw her walking down the stairs, and that was it. And I saw what she looked like. I saw her face. She gave me a name, though I was never able to corroborate the name. It was truly remarkable. When we got there, I went into the main house. When I walked in, I went straight to the room. There was the floor, and I asked the tour guide if that had been a crawl space, and he said, no, it was not a crawl space. There was stairs, and it was a very large space. And I said, aha, And in that moment, I got really emotional. And, you know, I think we all have these gifts and abilities. It's about tuning into them. It's like finding a channel, you know, and that tuner. And when you have that clear, with no static, and you have that clear communication, then you're really in that zone. And the universe is just waiting to give us all of our desires and information and help us. And it's about tuning into that and having that gratitude as well for it, I think. So,
well, as I found over the years with the knowledge of Reiki masters that helped me on my path, that the Celestine Prophecy book certainly opened my eyes with the energy out there in the universe. And that's tied a lot in for me. But they've also said that could have a lot to do with like time travel in the future, is energy based out there in the universe, which a lot of people don't see what's going on in and around them, do they, day in, day out.
Yeah.
So that's fine. Another question for you. If you could go, and I've noted this down, but I can expand on it as well. Past or present, who would you like to go investigating with? 3 people, past or present.
This must be a trick question.
No, just anyone from the past you could be in and around today, from any century or decade. Who would you like to be in and around to see what their lives was about or investigate with, past or present?
Wow. Well, you know,
There's no rush on that. I'll give you a little bit of a think.
Yeah, on that's $1 million question right there. Gary Fields, number 1.
I haven't put you on the spot there.
In the UK, in Liverpool, which, by the way, I've been called. I guess y'all call it over there in the UK a scouse, someone that has a really bad English accent. So apparently that's me. Yeah.
Our Phil's watching the live. He's my cameraman, Phil, and he said he's ready to go ghost hunting again, or paranormal investigating as well. So everyone's again chomping at the bit as well. And he was asking if your family, because he's an Evertonian. He was asking if your family are Evertonians dating back to either supporting Liverpool or Everton. But I'll skip over that.
All right, so we've got number 2 on my list is going to be Phil. So now we've got Gary and Phil to investigate with in the UK.
Brilliant.
And I'll bring my catcher.
Excellent. Right, let's see where we're going. What do you think in the future it will be your biggest goal moving forwards that you'd like to achieve?
Well, for me, you know, a part of my understanding and who I am and who I've always been, my spiritual DNA is what I like to call it. And I've been in many lifetimes in the capacity as a healing facilitator. So, you know, this lifetime is no different. And now in linear time, now is the time. And moving forward, I just want to continue moving forward. Hey, Jessica, I'd like to just continue to move forward in a positive direction and, you know, continue to take what the universe has in store for me and live my highest and best path and continue to help others in as a dark energy healing facilitator. Mainly, my passion is residential cases, very dark cases to the point of possession is really where my my drive and my passion truly lies.
And they certainly take a long time as well. Some of the possessions and all that as well, and help with house clearances as well. So they can be draining for weeks. I find after that, you know, he's worrying about a few days later. Is that settled? Is that balanced? Contact the people again as well. Right. Let's have a little look at this one now. It says, do you have a nickname for yourself within the paranormal field? Are you known as have your own little nickname? If so, what's the story behind it? What's your friend's name?
Oh, well, I have a whole story about this now. Well, you know, a lot of people throughout my life really just called me Natalie. It wasn't really until I started networking with a lot of people in the paranormal field that people just started calling me Nat. And so I think it's endearing and I love that. But this actually goes back to to my childhood, my family and I are very close. And growing up, my family, it started out at my grandfather. It started out as, you know, Nan. So it went from Natalie, and then they just started calling me Nan. And then it was Nanny. And then it went into, this is going to be a lot of information to take in, trust me. Then it went into Nanny Goat, and then it was just Goat. So it's like literally a whole evolution. Yeah. And I was actually on a road trip to the Old Park Hotel with Brian and Rochelle in July. And I told Brian and Rochelle this story. Well, Rochelle ate this up. I mean, she just absolutely loved it. So she started calling me Billy Goat, and now she's just calling me Billy. Now I like, if you ask, do you know Natalie Jones? She'll be like, oh yeah, Billy. So, and that's why I named my production company Strange Goat Media, because it's very dear to my heart, and it's a personal nickname. But that's how that came to be. But of course, everyone wants to, you know, have like that twist on it, that dark twist perception, and they're like, oh, it sounds satanic. And I'm like, well, take it as you will, I guess.
It certainly has evolved, that, hasn't it, for the nickname? Well, that's excellent. One of the viewers is asking here, Janice, she contacts me most days, Janice. Hi, Natalie. Have you ever had an out-of-body experience or and travelled any distance?
Yeah, this is actually a really cool question, because I have, but only once. So what happened was I was doing a meditation, and I didn't actually fall asleep, but I thought I was asleep. And I thought I was dreaming, but I wasn't. And I literally didn't realize that I was traveling until I was back in my body, but I was out in space and I could see Earth, and I had this telepathic understanding, knowing there was like extraterrestrial life near me. I could feel them, and there was like a ship or something, but I never was able to turn around and see it. And then all of a sudden I was back in, I didn't actually where you would think, oh, you know, you go all the way back down to Earth and through the atmosphere. It wasn't like that. I was in a split second, I was back in my room. I had my iPad on my chest, and it was playing music, and I went to go grab it, and my hands went through it, and I was like, wow. I unconsciously had that awareness, and I thought, holy, I'm out of my body right now. And so I said, okay, move your toes, because that's what I know what to do, because I've had experience with sleep paralysis and helping people with sleep paralysis and that's sort of thing in cases, is to wiggle your toes.
It brings you back in the room.
I did. I was able to. And then what was really cool was the music never changed. It was just still playing. And so I was like, okay. And I was like, getting up the courage to try to grab the iPad again. And I grabbed it, and sure enough, I lifted it up, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm back. But that literally happened. Yeah, it was cool.
Back in the room when that situation happened, isn't it, as well? A good friend of mine, again, Danny, one of my Reiki masters, gave me a book to read. I can't remember the title of it, but that was to do with like the subconscious mind of the sleep state mind. Or people that in comas. There was a top doctor that was studying it for about 25 years of like people that could hear, you know, people that were say on the deathbed, or people that were in road traffic accidents and unconscious in comas, of how the mind works today, where you're picking up that subconscious state of mind, and where we can link in as mediums of getting that link of what somebody's feeling. I had a certain experience with that not too long ago, with a few months back, with a very good close person friend of mine, and I knew what was going on in the room without even talking. The connection was there as well. Have you ever had any experience of that? You're both thinking on the same wavelength at the same time, and you're understanding without asking questions?
Yeah, I mean, I think that you're absolutely correct in saying that there's that connection with the subconscious, but also that connection to spirit as well. And it would take both sides to be able to have that experience, of course. you know, but I've definitely, for me, I am definitely clairsentient. Hey, Jolene. She's
lovely Jolene's just jumped in.
April! April's here.
Hello, April.
Oh my gosh. I just love April. We had such a fun time over the weekend, and we actually flew in a day early so that we could have some good catch up and hang out time. We had a blast, and she's just amazing. She gives the most amazing readings because she's very connected in not only in that element and knowing, but also she gives really good direction, and if you ask for advice and that sort of thing. So she's great. I love April. Hi, April. Yay!
Enjoyed your show last night in the readings, April. Yeah. Fantastic.
She says, "Oh my God." I can't do it like her though.
Any questions, Joe? Fire away. Feel free. Our good friend Nigel has just asked another question there for yourself. Do you see any spirits and ghosts within your own home? Do you have any local residents?
So my home's clear, and I do that, intentionally, of course, and I make sure that nothing follows me. Though there was one time that I did get followed by a spirit from the old Park Hotel, unbeknownst to me. And it wasn't until a week after that I was at the Haunted Hill House, which is about 3.5 hours away from the old Park Hotel. And there was an audio that came through, an EVP. There was a spirit saying that there was in fact another spirit that was with me from the old Park Hotel. And I knew who it was, and I had to, handle up on that. But other than that, I mean, I just really love to make sure that, everything's cleared out and that nothing's able to follow me from any of these cases or locations.
That's what I try and tend to do. When we finished an investigation, I asked my guide to retain the spirits 5 or 10 foot when we're off the property. I asked them to retain back within themselves, and obviously that's always a good practice. And if any spirits do want to communicate, I just ask them to wait outside, mainly to a Sunday afternoon or when we're ready to work in that situation as well. Got a fantastic question coming in from Dawn Wilder. Okay. She's had sleep paralysis 3 times now. And one was an alien standing at the foot, standing by her head as well, that must be mind blowing.
Dawn, you and I share a very similar experience. Mine was actually happened about a month ago, actually. So, and I think I've only told one person about it, besides my mom, but that's in the paranormal field. But April's in between readings. April, oh my God! I have April. I'm gonna have to tell you about my experience. You're gonna have to call me so I can tell you what happened. But going back to what Dawn was saying, with sleep paralysis, did she have a specific question?
Just basically that one of the paralysis, one time she actually seen an alien, and you've had a similar experience as well, which you virtually half answered my next question on that lines was, could you tell me one thing that could surprise me about yourself? And I think you've half explained that with that experience that you've kept that on. But if you wanted to expand on that, feel free.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell everybody, here's the thing with me is I'm an open book. If you don't believe me, then you don't believe me, right? And here's what I like to just, if we can't just be authentic and speak ourselves and our mind, and then, it doesn't matter what other people think. You have to live your life to the fullest. You can't walk around worrying about what other people are going to think. And again, so this is a pretty, it's a pretty wild experience. So about a month ago, I was, again, I was meditating, and I, I fell asleep, I guess, but I woke up. Okay, so this basically, I had a Merkaba around me, and it was spinning like I was about to go and start to travel interstellarly. And then I felt like 10 fingers on my head like this. And then I saw this creature or alien or extraterrestrial, a being standing at the foot of my bed. I wasn't asleep. I thought that I was falling asleep, and I wasn't. So it was that in between state, that theta, that hypnagogic state again. And when I looked down, so what I could tell, it was very mischievous. I got the sense that it was more malevolent than benevolent. And it was about 3.5 feet tall. From what I could tell, it was like dark green. It was darker skin, but it wasn't black. And it had a melon-shaped head, like this. And it had really long fingers, and it started poking my foot. And I was kind of in a state of paralysis. And I literally feel it when it touched my foot, my leg, like my shin area. It was like poking. And so I had to command it to depart immediately. And when I did that, it did. What was really interesting is that when I was in that moment, I had the awareness that I had no fear, because I could hear my heart beating, and my heart rate was very steady. It was like the coolest experience. And so when I really came out of it, I just looked around. You want to know what my reaction was?
By the way, it's uncensored.
No, I just started laughing. I said, okay. Oh my gosh, that literally just happened. And that was so cool. You know, I thought it was really cool. Look, I mean, as paranormal investigators, and, you know, I consider myself a paranormal navigator, because you have that combination of, you know, as an investigator with these abilities and gifts and all that helps us to navigate different cases or locations or experiences or circumstances. So I really like that term. But as a paranormal navigator, you know, we have to be open-minded. And when you have an experience like this, you know, there's people that are going to say, well, you made it up in your mind. It didn't really happen. That's fine. You can believe that, but you weren't there experiencing it, and you didn't feel see and feel the fingers touching your leg. You know, I mean, it's like it's really cool, but that really happened. So.
Excellent. When you find out that you're in that position of, like I would always say, when it gets to a certain level and it's time not for them to play, if it's a low level energy coming in, for me to take, my really to not upset me, but really enough's enough. I'd just say, be gone. And then I expect my team to do the rest, spiritually, my guide and everybody else as well. What's on your bucket list, either spiritually or within the paranormal field? What's on your bucket list?
Well, I am, number one on my bucket list is to get the Haunted Psychomanium opened here in Dallas, Texas. And speaking of Dallas, Texas, I saw Joey's on. Hi, Joey. Joseph Harvey Davis Jr. He is Ghost Hunter Girls director of photography. He is the paranormal photographer, and he takes all of the photos at locations and does all of my photo work for Ghost Hunter Girls. He's incredible. If you're into amazing photography, please go follow him. He's always taking photos. It's his main passion. So I just wanted to link later,
we'll have the link on as well for you with that. By all means. Glad to share as well. Mm-hmm. Sorry to stop it in full flow there, but just look after the photographer.
Yes. So big shout out to Joey. But that's definitely on my bucket list to get that opened, and, you know, continue to do my work from my workplace. So.
Dawn again is saying she has three spirits within her home. She's an empath and she's a sensitive as well. I do know that April said that you're sensitive, again being a Reiki master, and basically to me that's virtually as good as a medium as you can get. Anything with the empath that you could explain to people, or again, do you know where would you say there's a difference with the empath and the sensitive?
Well, you know, honestly, with everything really is energy. Before we get into this, you know, we like to put terms on things. And of course we have to, because we have to communicate. You know, don't like to get too hung up on terms when it comes to that.
Everybody's beliefs and where they're up to with what they're after.
But for me, you know, what I would say about, you know, being an empath, and, you know, there's different types of empaths as well, is that, you know, with everything being energy and really being interconnected, like for me, I can think of a person and I can feel their thoughts and their feelings even from a long distance. And I never like to have discord with anyone as well. So that's where I would say we have to protect our own energy as well. And sometimes people can send psychic attacks, whether they know that they're doing it or not. Sometimes it is intentional. There are people who do, unfortunately, engage in dark ritual as well and send these curses, spells, and hexes. I'm always notified whenever something like that is sent my way, and I immediately will send it back. But as far as, you know, the empath, everything being energy and protecting our own energy is really key, because it can be, if you're bringing it in, you have to, into your own energy, you have to be really careful that it's not draining you or having a negative effect on you. You know,
certainly over the years, I've been to like a few abbeys, and people have done rituals there, and they've put certain symbols the wrong way round, possibly on the intentions of doing things what they believe the right way, but opening portals and stuff like that as well. Yeah. Have you ever come across something where you feel that somebody's totally done something in the wrong way? I've come across a lot of people on investigations, like you touched on before, that they're like energy thieves as well. We call them, you know, like Dracula, energy thieves. Basically, they'll suck your energy out. So again, we've got to protect. Have you come across anywhere that you've virtually thought something's quite not right? You've had to work it out as you're going along?
Yeah.
On the investigations,
there's
location.
Yes, there's absolutely energy vampires. There's also vampires who you know, are acclaimed, and that's what they do. They're vampires, and that is something that is just a part of being, and there's no judgment in that either. I like to respect everybody's beliefs. I like to respect everybody in who they are and what works for them. But with that said, that is definitely something that, you know, that can happen on investigations as well, even with spirits. You know, that spiritual energy. When we die, it's just a transformation of energy, you know, into our light body. So they're just as much can have that same effect. And the more that we're connected to spirit, and the more that we can feel what's going on around in those unseen forces, then the more we can be aware and in control of that. Free will really is very powerful and incredible.
Sometimes you can feel it in different rooms with your guide and your team, saying there's an energy moving in that room and it's unsettled and something's coming from here as well. So you have got to be quite protected quite a lot, haven't you, on them situations?
Yeah, definitely.
Our lovely Janice, I've been on many investigations with our lovely Janice. They're actually, they call them the pink ladies. They come out in pink hoodies. So she does have a walking stick, and she has hit me with it, tried to go for me a few times with that walking stick as well. She's saying, what is it when children visit you and they just want to play? Do you get any of that? Spiritual children?
Yes, I've had a very close experience with a specific child spirit that from a haunted location that I'm very privy to. It was a very interesting. Hey, Daryl. Hey, Maddie Lee. She's amazing. Let's give another shout out to Maddie Lee. If you are if you're out there, please go check out her profile. She's absolutely an amazing child actress. So with that said, yeah, what was it that we were talking about?
The children, any spiritual children coming in around you that just want to play?
Yes, yes. So, I mean, regularly, there's different energies and different spirits, but with child spirits, they can be playful. Sometimes it's residual too, and not necessarily intelligent. But I did have an intelligent experience with a child spirit, and the child spirit actually, this person actually visited me in the dream state and showed me something, but he wasn't we have the ability to choose what we look like and what age, type of age we are and all of that. And he was in his late teens, early 20s in that experience. But he was specifically showing me something about what was happening and why he was the way that he was as well. And then I said, look, I'm coming, please communicate with me while I'm there. They and sure enough, when you ask like that and you have that pure heart and that intention, and they're the ones that have initiated contact with, just like this other child from the Berkeley plantation over the weekend. And then sure enough, we ended up having very full-on active communication with this spirit. With the spirit. Yeah. There was, we caught the child apparition. And when it was walking, there was a Spider-Man doll blow-up toy that actually fell over. We went and reviewed it multiple times. There was no light source or anything that we could conclude that it would have been anything else. And you could literally see it walking, in the form of actual walking. And then we caught a Class A EVP from a male child voice that came through as well.
That's great when two or three things tie in together. We've had quite a similar situation where we had a lock-off camera on just a stool and an item fell off it when we was on a break in an interval, but just to have that lock-off camera on it, and an energy followed us from upstairs at the end of the last session, and something's going to go on. That's just great. Could you give us an insight into any experiences around UFOs, or what would you recommend to people that wanted to trying to get into the UFO scene?
Yeah. So if you're interested in making contact, or having that peaceful contact with benevolent extraterrestrials, my advice to you would be to look into the CE5 initiative, Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind, where you can go and do the meditation and the coherent thought sequencing, which is just basically locating and remote viewing in a way, but also showing them where you are at and getting in a state of deep meditation, which takes about 20 to 30 minutes. And then you can do the coherent thought sequencing process. And eventually, over time, you will probably more than likely make contact. So, and there's the best way to do it is to go and look into the best practices, like going out into nature at night in the middle of nowhere, and you have a specific laser pointer, and there's many different things that you can do. But also with these extra dimensional, trans-dimensional interstellar beings, you can make contact via meditation as well. I guess like I did about a month ago.
In that open state of mind as well. I found that the best place the best place that I found was actually camping, and I was in Anglesey in North Wales in a midsummer's night, and I was just looking up at the stars. Didn't really see anything, but the amount of shooting stars that you pick to an unpolluted city or a nice open place, it's just, you've got to go out and experience that type of scenario as well. Our lovely Phil, which is my cameraman, Nat, have you ever had contact with a famous spirit, or can you name them?
You know what, Phil? Not that I am aware of. I hope one day that I do. That would be truly incredible. Well, I mean, I don't know. I actually, this actually did make me think of something. I had an experience, and I've heard other people who've had similar experiences. I believe it was either Chris Smith or Mike Goncalves from Ray Chasers that had an experience like this where they captured ITC that was their voice coming through, speaking to them. What was truly incredible about mine was not only was it my voice, I'll have to send you the video with the time marker so that you can hear it, and maybe we can put it out and everyone else can put their 2 cents in as well. But what was truly incredible was that when my voice came through, it said my name, Natalie Ann.
So again, that's it.
Yeah.
Again, I always say seeing is believing, and experiencing all that. There's a few people saying that they've been scratched and stuff like that as well. Sometimes I don't just believe it's a negative spirit or energy or a low level or a demonic.
Right.
Sometimes they can just be over enthusiastic to get your attention as well. If you have any scenarios where you've come across anything that's been like any marks or scratches within yourself on the investigations?
Yeah, this is a great question. I have never been, I've never had a walk-in. I have never been shoved or scratched in any way. I have just a certain protection, and I do a lot of light work. I have to, walking through darkness as a dark energy healing facilitator, very similar to a shaman, is that, you know, we walk through the darkness to help and, you know, spread that light and help others, even other spirits and other beings as well. So I believe that is a part of my protection. What comes along with that is the reason why. And I've been told by a couple of different witnesses that they've one was a psychic medium, the other was an owner of a haunted location that caught some ITC come through the camera audio. So
I always find when we're due to go on a location a couple of days before, I will, when I'm arriving about a mile or two away, I'll start introducing myself to the spirits that, you know, a gatekeeper or a positive or a negative energy on the landmass that's a protector of positive and negative. And the gatekeepers, I'll introduce myself as well, just to say who I am. So you don't go in there like full on, you're going in there slowly and gradually after that communication of the balance, where it is a balance. So sometimes you can have a spirit energy that bombards you, and I'll just ask them to stand back until they're in a nice, you know, you've got to have that balance, haven't you, with the communication side of it as well. So I always think it's nice to introduce yourself to the building, come alive, and just say to the building, basically, we're here just for that evidence and the communication as well.
And I think sometimes we get the best communication when we're, you know, when we're not asking direct, same repetitive questions, but when we're just being more interactive with each other, they tend to want to chime in and interact with you when you're, you know, they're just having a good time, or not specifically necessarily asking questions, is when I've found that you can get some really cool, you know, communication that way. But yeah, I believe what it was, specifically going back to that protection, the actual audio captured, you cannot touch her, she's protected, is what it said. So she said, well, I just wanted to tell you that that's what came through. And I said, I always appreciate, we always appreciate those types of communications, because it gives us the confirmation of something that we already, you know, innately know, intuitively know. It's there, that information's there, you can feel it.
And when it evolves and comes around again, it's that balance of them working with it, and the blend's just amazing. Dawn's saying there she's got a wooden hat by her house where she sees a man in a hat, he just smiles in spirit, but never crosses a certain line as well. So again, that's like that boundaries of where they want to reside as well. So that's quite interesting, and that touches on where we were saying about the gatekeepers and you know, certain energies reside within certain buildings as well. As again, this is uncensored, Nat. Who did you have a celebrity crush?
Yeah, I do.
Don't have to answer, but That's fine. I'll throw this one at you as well. Just hold that thought. What would you do if you won $1 million right now? I mean, you mentioned saving that place in Texas. What would you do if you won $1 million right now?
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm a realtor as well, so I'd be headed down to start shopping spaces for the haunted Psychomanium. I mean, that's it.
I thought that was going to be the answer.
Go out right now today. Waste no time. Snap of a finger, boom, it's there. You manifest it.
Do you know what thing you should do is start up a GoFundMe for that? That's just come to me. Start up a GoFundMe for the kitty. Just moving on there to Jess. I haven't read this question yet. When she was 3 years old, remembers it clearly, used to lay on the bed and at the wall at the bottom of the bed, she used to look and it was spinning and moving. I always find that's more like a portal open where spirits are waiting to communicate with you. Still has that today. Have you any idea? I'm drawn to a portal where that type of energy at the room is waiting to mix and blend and open up as she's sleeping and getting into the mind state to receive. Spirits are coming forward from that certain one specific area. Any thoughts on that yourself?
So she says, when I was younger, about 3 years old, I remember I used to lay in bed and the wall at the bottom of my bed used to look like it was spinning and moving closer to me. Still to this day, I have no idea what it meant.
To me, I'm drawn to a portal opening up as she's getting in the state of mind to receive. I feel like the energy would start trying to communicate from that certain specific area. That's what I'm drawn to. For you, Jess, who is one of the pink ladies as well. She's another pink lady.
Yeah. I definitely agree with you on that, Gary. But that is a very unique experience. It could have also been. This is what I find is that everything is communication, and everything in communication comes from an intelligent source. So something intelligent was trying to communicate with you, something or show you something. It's all about, that's what it is. So that
open to receive, definitely.
She may actually know the answer if she really thinks about it. I believe that she'll be able to find the aha moment with that. But that's
go back into that state of mind, Jess, and then just ask them to come forward, the specific person that's after you, and then I feel that they'll do that over the next couple of days as well. Natalie, I'm going to give you a superpower now. Which one would you pick if you had a superpower, like a superhero power?
Superhero power?
Yeah,
would definitely be. Traveling, portal jumping, traveling.
So a bit like Doctor Who getting the TARDIS or Michael J. Fox.
Oh, yeah, I'd be in the UK right now. I'd be over there quick.
getting the DeLorean and put yourself to 1985 or
definitely
whenever.
Staying out of trouble.
Would you go back to a specific time period?
You know what? I love the 80s. I really do.
80s.
I really do. The music is amazing. I was born in the 80s, but, I just truly, I love the 80s. Yeah.
Ooh,
the 80s. Go ahead.
Could you give yourself a superhero name then?
Give myself a superhero name?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. You know what? Let's let the audience give me a superhero name. Everyone just
let's get you working.
Yeah, because I'll come up with something really corny and then I'll never live it down and it's just going to haunt me for the rest of my life.
Maybe we're going to add this onto your nickname as well. So we'll see if we can get this to follow on with the rest of your nickname.
Yeah.
Right, just jumped a little bit too far on there. Let's see, another question. Any specific celebrity that you admire in the way of what they do and what they stand for?
Yeah.
Both in the paranormal world or the general world?
So I really admire Mark Wahlberg. I really do. I think he's a really great individual. I've always been a really big fan of Mark Wahlberg. Michael Bublé is another celebrity. As far as the paranormal field, I'll be honest with you. I have the utmost respect for Zach Bagans. And I know that when you're in the limelight like that, there's just so much judgment that comes your way, and people just pick you apart like nobody's business, right? But he is very good at what he does, and he is passionate about what we see on TV. That's a TV show, but I know that he's a very very great investigator, and he's very business savvy as well. And I think that all around, he just should be respected in what he does, you know.
And so, it's good to keep the wheel going and reinvent yourself and keep moving forwards as well. Because, you know, and then before you know it, there's 5, 10, 15, 20 years ago from YouTube days to where they are now. You couldn't have seen that from the YouTube days, you know.
Yeah, so, I mean, I'd love to meet Zach and pick his mind and all of that. But, you know, he's a hard one to find.
Best spiritual child memory that you had spiritually, what would you say that was?
So for me, I had a very tall, benevolent spirit that popped in and said hello. It was a really neat experience. He was very, very tall, almost as tall as the ceiling. So I would say over 8 feet tall, very slender. And thank you, Troy. And he was dressed in mint green. He even had a mint green hat on. I almost felt as if he was like a spirit guide or some sort of guardian angel or something. But it was just very elegant. And I saw him walk right past me at the dinner table, and then he was gone. And I've never seen him again. But it was something that's always been imprinted on my mind, my memory.
Yeah. I always found as well, where I was seeing things spiritually from 5 years of age, that the team would give you certain things to deal with, and the better you dealt with them and cope with, they would give you more as you're moving forwards as well over the years, which I found amazing. A lot of deja vu as well. Let's see where we're going here. Let's find another question. What's your best ways that you prepare before you go on an investigation? Do you go for a meal, or do you have a set routine? Or
that's a great question.
Do you have your protection and say your prayers or anything like that?
You know, here's the thing for me. Yes, I always carry my consecrated oil. I set apart my own oil as a priesthood holder. So that's something that, you know, for me, again, I'm always preparing. Like every day is a preparation. I have a routine every morning. My prayer before my eyes ever even open, I'm already, you know, praying. And I have my meditation, which is really important for me. And, you know, that's my yoga. And in my yoga practice, at the end of my practice, I lay on my mat and I do my self-therapy Reiki.
Do as well with the, I was helped by an international medium. He came over to New York years ago, and he's basically helped everybody from helping with their loved ones that's passed over there. And he's just been a massive inspiration in and around where I am today, with just saying, you know, get the orderly in line with spirit, just ask them to come through one at a time. Do you ever get bombarded too much, too quick, too soon?
From the spiritual realm?
Yeah.
I have been very overwhelmed at one point. I find that when you open up and you have that sympathy and that empathy and that shared experience with them, then that's when they will really come barreling in, because they're eager for help, to be heard. The reason why they're still here in the third dimension is because there's some sort of lower attachment that's keeping them here, right? So they're here most of the time, not in the best state of being, and just need help. You know, even innocent spirits, like a child, you know, it could be a lower attachment, like some sort of trauma, you know, and death in a fire or something like that, and they're lost and they just need help. But I find that when you open up and you have that empathy and all of that, I had a couple of really intense experiences where just out of nowhere, I just started crying. It went from 0 to 100 in a split second. One moment I was fine, and then the next moment I was just like I was feeling everything that they were feeling, and an emotional wreck.
With that energy, I always ask spirit to give me their emotions, mannerisms, what they were about in their time. And as you said, it can go from 0 to 100, but trying to retain that in an investigation, I'll always try and get somebody to share that experience quite close to me. If they're close to me, or I'll ask them to blend with them. I do the transfiguration, and I do put people in trance and get them to be the medium as well. There was another question here now by Angelique, who I know she works with another lovely paranormal team as well. Have you ever been walked through, basically, that freaked her out? So basically somebody that's tried to channel you too quick?
Yeah, again, I've got just this barrier around me, and a very thick aura. There's not a lot of ways to get in for me. I've never had a walk-in. I've never been walked through, but I can imagine that would be quite the experience. Yeah.
I know we're coming quite close to time now, Natalie. There's another one there that Dawn says she lives quite close to a cemetery. Somebody's been murdered across the road, and she's had 4 people passing her home. Do you think that's why she's experienced that type of energy that's going on in and around? I personally would say that things are unsettled there, that certain spirits' energies might need to cross. Any advice for her with that type of scenario going on?
Yeah, so it definitely sounds like there's some supercharged energy going on, and sometimes when you have multiple energies that are crossing paths and interconnected in that space like that, you know, that supercharged energy can cause that activity, as well as you know, have some sort of effect on you as well. If you know, if you're needing maybe a clearing, or you know, helping those spirits to move on, there's different options. Yeah. Excellent. I agree with you, though. Definitely helping anybody pass on is a gift in itself.
Yeah, definitely. Also, as well, could you tell the viewers and the folks about a series or anything else that you'd like them to catch up on in and around what projects you've got on the go at the moment?
Yeah. Well, I'm really excited for Paraflix. So that is going to be streaming on your TV. Will be available as a downloadable app. Hi, Claire. And that is going to be an SVOD platform, subscription video on demand. So it's going to be like your like a Netflix, Amazon Prime, streaming TV. Yes. And myself, Patty Negri, and Nicholas Bonani are all executives in the corporation, and currently we are set to launch March 2021. The app is currently in development with Vimeo OTT, our OTT developer. So they're amazing. We're really working closely with them to have a successful launch and all of that. And I have a 6-part series coming out called The Haunted Psychomanium Omnipresent. It's myself, Richard Lillard, and Nick Haunted Diary are all my co-hosts, and all 3 of us are co-hosts. We're taking a inside look into 6 different haunted locations with a tour, and then an introduction into their haunted antiques, haunted item collections, and all of that. And it's a virtual series, so it's really cool. It's elevated, and that's also going to be a Paraflix exclusive. And also, if you're wanting to learn more about me as a paranormal navigator, you can go to theghosthuntergirls.com. I'm everywhere on social media. So you can find me on social media on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram at official Natalie Jones, and Ghost Hunter Girls as well. And I believe, again, I've got Mike Hatcher's amazing. He's co-owner with me now of Strange Goat Media. So we're, if you have any content or help with, you know, production, editing, and all of that, you can go to strangegoatmedia.com, and there's a form there that you can fill out, and then he or myself would be in contact with you. And again, we've got, of course, Texas Paracon next year rolling through.
Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah. Texas Paracon is going to be at the Dallas Convention Center August 13th through 14th of 2021. And there's a really great, amazing talent lineup. And we are going to be, we're going to be just having a really great time. There's a 100,000 square foot exhibit hall, a main arena stage, and then there's going to be 3 different secondary stages, and G Crew will be there on one of the stages, and Paranormal Warehouse, the Odyssey Files Radio. Again, a huge talent lineup, the Holzer Files, Ghost Nation, the list goes on. And so that's just going to be a really great experience. Of course, Festival of the Unexplained now has partnered, joined forces with us to, you know, have a successful event on our side and for over there across the pond in the UK as well. And Haunted Magazine has sponsored Texas Paracon. So we love all of the support from our UK family over here. And I'm just so, yeah, Joe's going to be in Texas. I have to admit, I have a little bit of a woman crush on Joe and Carrie. They're like the most amazing women out there. You know, they're strong, they're motivated, they get things done, and they just have the best charisma. So I'm just so excited to meet everybody. Texas Paracon is going to be such a blast, and there's 4 different ticket levels. There's even 1-day passes, and there's many different ways that you can get involved. Sponsorship is one way, and we really just appreciate any support that we can get to make this a successful event. And then, of course, there's the merch booths, so you'll have the opportunity for your brand or your business, or your paranormal team. Please get a booth and come, because it's such a steal deal. You get both days in the booth, and it comes with 2 Ghost Hunter passes, which is a $300 value in itself. So you have access to all of the entire event for 2 days, and you have the opportunity to sell your merchandise, which, you know, that right there pays for it, and then some. Yeah, so please get your merch booth and come to Texas Paracon. And if you have any questions, again, I would say just go to the website, because all of the information is on there at texasparacon.com.
That's excellent. That's certainly, we've given that a very good plug, and certainly looking forward to August. And Karen and Jolene will be over there, and certainly seeing what's going on as well, and meeting all you lovely, fantastic people from over the pond. I think our Karen's just going to jump back in now with us.
Good evening, everybody. Hi,
Karen. I was just talking about you.
Wow.
I'm excited to have you at Texas Paracon.
Well, I'm excited to come to Texas Paracon. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I have actually got we have actually got a little announcement. And at the end of this interview this evening, we have got a video to play. You were talking about Texas Paracon and Festival of the Unexplained. Festival of the Unexplained are doing a weekend virtual event in January. Natalie is going to be a big part of that event with us as well. So stick around, guys. That's just wanted to make a quick announcement to let you know that we'll be doing that. Natalie will be. No, we're not going to tell you what Natalie's going to be doing, because we don't want to tell you, actually. Who'll be Natalie? Not yet, anyway.
No, it's a secret.
Yeah,
it's just a secret now. So, yeah, we'll be doing it for charity. Like I said, we do have a video to play for you. And I just want to say thank you, Natalie, for joining Gary on his first show on Keep On Chatting this evening on his own or by himself.
Thank you for having me.
Yes.
Thank you for coming along, Natalie. It's been a pleasure, and I hope that gives some insight to the start, to your path and where you're up to as well. Phil's put a good question on there. Will your events be live streamed on the Texas Paracon? Could you do like on the day, do a 10-minute for people that can't make it over from the UK? Can you give them a little bit of an insight as well? That might be good for you.
Yeah. So again, I know that some of the talent, like G Crew, they are going to be live streaming. But yes, the event will be live streamed, so I'll have more information on that as it gets closer. Yeah.
That's excellent. And thank you for answering all them lovely questions. There was one you skipped on, but we'll leave that.
Oh, my celebrity crush, trust me. Yeah. No one needs to know this. Nobody needs to know. Just, it's good. Again, thank you so much for having me on tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure. You both are amazing, and I'm just so honored to be a part of your kickoff show. So again, thank you so much for having me.
Oh,
and thank you for joining. Thank you, Natalie, for joining tonight. Thank you for joining, Gary. I hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll definitely have you back. I'm sure we'll have you back in the new year, obviously leading up to Texas Paracon. And like I said, I wanted to jump on because I wanted to do that announcement and show the video that we've got announcing the weekend event in January. Like I said, you're having a big part in it with us. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, Natalie. Thank you, Gary. Stick around, and I'm going to play this video for you now. Thanks, everyone. Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night, everybody.